What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another video. So in this video, I want to talk about why narcissists don't like introverts. And I consider myself an introvert. And it all makes sense when you really think about it. Now, an introvert is a person who likes to be alone. And they're at peace when they're alone. They don't like large crowds. They're not the type to really socialize with a lot of people. They're mostly the one-on-one type. And even when dealing with people one-on-one, we'd rather keep that, very brief. Now, unless it's something that really grabs our attention and it's someone who somebody who we kind of click with, like we get it. We both get the same thing. Um, you might see an introvert, you know, engage with the person a little longer than normal. But other than that, introverts are really reserved. You may even call them antisocial, because sometimes I call myself antisocial, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's why I kind of like do videos the way I do. I'm more comfortable. Um, I don't mind coming on camera. Did a lot of videos on camera, but I don't know. I don't collab a lot with a lot of other YouTubers in this community, even though I've been invited to come on different people channels a couple of times, and I really appreciate that. But it's like the way that I am, it'll put me in an uncomfortable position, even though I'm talking about something that is very, very passionate to me. But the thing about it is, narcissists don't like introverts. Anyone else can respect it. The reason why the narcissists don't respect introverts is because the introvert is who they are, and they stand on that. And they're not going to let anybody change them and take them out of their comfort zone. And see, when a narcissist pick up on that, it makes them frustrated because they're going to try all they can to get you to come, out of that shell. And there's nothing wrong with being in a shell. You're not bothering anyone. And you come out of the shell when you need to. So again, you're not bothering anyone. But to narcissists, they hate to see a person at peace, because, of course, that's something that they wish they had. So if they can take a little bit of your peace, little bit at a time, that'll really leave you with nothing. They will completely drain you. And that's why when it comes to narcissists and introverts, what they try to do is make you become what they need you to be so that they can drain you of that same energy. And when you refuse to, deal with narcissists, they look at that as a rejection. Of course, they're going to take it as a rejection. They don't take rejections very well. And then you're going to see them become desperate enough to do pretty much anything to get your attention, just to get a piece of your time, something that you do not owe them. The narcissist will come up with pretty much any reason to socialize with an introvert. And the thing about it is, the narcissistic spirit is so anxious. It's a very strong spirit. It's a spirit of anxiousness, um, anger. Um, it's a spirit of jealousy, of course. Um, it's just so much about a narcissist that just don't sit well with introverts. Like, they just don't go good together. So if anything, an introvert will turn away from a narcissist and not really, want to be around it. And they pick up on it real quick. And that's something that the narcissist, that's the time when they'll start to realize, well, you kind of know who they are. Introverts, well, I can only speak for myself on this, very sensitive. And what I mean by sensitive is, sense certain things very strongly, and sensitive at the same time. Like I'm a sensitive person. My feelings get hurt easy, stuff like that. And at the same time, I'm sensitive in a way where I'm strong. I'm sensitive, but I'm strong. I can handle a lot. You know, I'm not um scared off very easily. If anything, if I'm not comfortable where I'm at, I'm gonna move. And I don't care who don't like it. It's like you're just gonna have to accept it respectfully. But again, narcissists, there's no respect with narcissists. You know, they expect you to be a certain way to please them. And when you show them that that's just not what you're willing to do, that's when you'll start to see them kind of get angry. So a narcissist, they really can't benefit off an introvert's supply because the introvert's not going to give them any supply to begin with. They may in the very, very beginning when they're kind of feeling them out, but once the introvert figures out the narcissist and picks up on that energy, they're going to get away from that. Not going to want to be bothered with them at all because they're very sucky people and they require too much of your time. They need you too much. And I can't speak for every introvert, but I don't like to be needed to the point to where, I done spoke on this before. Like it's just so much that I'm willing to be there for. Because a person, it's like they will get to the point where they start to use you, for being a shoulder to cry on. They start to use you for being a listening ear. They will start to use you if they can always get something out of you. And I believe that you should ask people, you know, for a moment of their time. Can I talk to you for a minute? And is it okay if I talk to you about something very personal? That's how I am. So, you know, I believe that people should be that way before they just dump stuff off on people because everybody, they can't handle it. And even if they can handle it, why should they? Like at the end of the day, it's a respect thing. Again, narcs don't have respect for people. They don't care. Narcs feel entitled. And that's why when they notice that an introvert doesn't give them the time of day, you know, they try to make that introvert look like somebody crazy. Something is wrong with them. When you can't get much out of a quiet person, your mind goes everywhere. And you come up with all type of things about what can be wrong with them. And first of all, there's nothing wrong with being quiet. That's just a part of your makeup. That's your character. There's nothing wrong with that, you know. And I guess an extrovert is the opposite of an introvert. And um like extroverts who show a lot of empathy, like that's right up the narcissist alley. They're the perfect target. Now an introvert is also a perfect target because they're quiet. So the narcissists feel like they can fill you up with everything they need to fill you up with so you can be that puppet for them. And they're going to expect for you to be a certain way at all times. They mistake your kindness and your quietness, your silence. They mistake that for weakness. But to me, introverts is who gives the injury, you know, the hardest to the narcissist. Because the introvert is like you're not gonna deal with a lot for a long period of time like extrovert will. So it's like they'll deal with a narcissist even longer than the introvert will because they're gonna cut it off as soon as they start to feel like you need too much. Whereas an extrovert, they're very outgoing, outspoken, don't mind the public. A people person, likes to socialize and all that good stuff. The narcissist gonna take full advantage of that if they can. And they're gonna suck them completely dry. Whereas an introvert is not even gonna really allow them to do that after figuring out who they are. So that concludes this video. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.